Testing. Testing. I always start with testing. Welcome. Right, I'm getting very close to. The stuff is going really well now, and I'm getting really close to releasing something that users can start using. It's, the basic functionality is working in this new client-server multi-user stuff, and I've, the stress testers can actually run for a while without. I'm not sure what this problem is. I'm just looking at this, but that's a very good sign. So I just need to do a bit more manual testing and some new builds, and then we can start building on it as a foundation and adding more functionality, running more stress tests to find the more obscure thread bugs and stuff like that, or stuff like this. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it so far. I'm becoming happy with the progress. Error handler. What's going on here? Message, no such node, new. I'm running in the stress tests. The server hit some sort of TCP server connection start. Why is it actually starting server connections? External code. I just press F5 and it seems to carry on running. I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe it's it could be a bug in Poco because I don't have the latest version of Poco. Or it could be, I don't know, maybe it's running out of TCP handles or ports. Like if the stress tests are doing too many things, maybe it, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe I should just increase the number of threads, see if it stops doing this. Because the thing is, if you close, even though there's a lot of ports, like 65,000 on a machine, I don't know if it creates a new connection every time. It should reuse the same connection, or maybe it creates new connections. I don't know, but you can exhaust them, because if you have stress tests running, if they create new connections, because they take something like 2 minutes to time out when you close a port, so you can. I'm not sure if this is that though. I doubt it. It's probably something else. Let's see where it's. Let's see what the main thread's doing. Main thread is sitting sleeping on idle. Pretty harmless. Although, yeah, no, yeah, it's not doing. Main thread's just sleeping. That's weird. Pull thread. Pull thread. In connection. Connection start. I would have thought it starts all the connections right at the beginning. I know that doesn't make sense. It probably starts them. Server dispatcher. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. It starts them when we get requests from clients. Called connection factory. Create connection. Begin connection. Connection start. Try run. Okay. Start. Equals try run. which throws an exception. What is the exception? No such node new. Socket.poll socket accept connection. Now we're in the exception handler when it hits the debug, because the exception. So we're not catching we're not hitting the exception itself in the debugger. We're hitting the exception handler, which triggers the debugger to hit to breakpoint, which is really annoying because it means the server stops running. But on the other hand, maybe something is wrong here. I wonder if we just not have enough threads. Let's just up the number of threads and see if it helps. Or I must run it in release mode so it doesn't stop each time in the debugger. I think there was a Poco option somewhere about the number of threads. Easy Poco, HTTP server. Max threads, yeah, here we go. 32. Doesn't sound like a lot. It sounds like a fine for normal day-to-day use, maybe for the stress test it's not enough. I don't know if that's the problem though. I'd have to run it and just see, run it some more. These clients, it's still actually running. So this changes now. I don't know why this thing's gone to the top. Close, stop. I don't even know. I guess we should run it again in debug mode to see if that solves the problem. Although that doesn't leave me much to actually do in the stream if I'm just sitting here staring at this thing, doing stress tests. I should do more interesting programming. What is the other problem? Oh, the -1 problem. I don't think that's really happening anymore. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Okay, so we run 2. Let's put them there and there. Those will be our 2 clients, and then we run a 3rd one. And let's use the monkeys to create a document. Okay. ABCDFG, blah 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 blah. So it creates a default test document with a bunch of users, ABCDFG. And then now we're going to run that as the server. And yeah, let's just see that it looks Also want to see if these surrogate pairs work properly. UTF-8 surrogate pairs. Yes, hooray. Yeah. So here we see on our server we have two logged in users, these two clients, A and B. And now we're going to start running them in stress test mode. What did I want to do first? Let's turn this on. Sunset. Did it do something before it attacked? Oh, yeah, Control W. Yeah. Okay, Control Shift 1, so we start the little stress tester running. And we can look what's going on with in terms of TCP connections. Just out of interest. Minus A, minus N, minus B. How do we elevate without tree? That let's see through these things. Oops. See all these, this is what I was talking about. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So all these TCP/IP, when you close a socket connection, you know, even though you've closed it, the operating system, it sits in a state. I think it's 2 minutes by default or something quite long of time wait, meaning it's yeah, waiting to close or something. And look at that, as you stress test, it's hammering, it's creating connections to the server, thousands of them, and then it closes them, and they all sit in times wait. So even though you've got 65,000, if you exhaust them fast enough, you may run out of, you know, if you end up with 65,000 in, I don't know if that's feasible, but could you end up maybe with thousands in the time wait state? I'm not sure. If you're really hammering away. What it should do is reuse the same connection, but it's HTTP architecture. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Anyway, but the normal, it's not really a problem, because in normal use, this is in normal use. You're not. Would this happen in normal use? That's the question. I suppose it might, because it does. It's rude. I mean, it's not good design to really be doing this. Like, so. But I mean, that's how HTTP works, isn't it? Every little thing. HTTP persistent connection, what's called HTTP keep alive, is that you have a single TCP connection, send and receive multiple HTTP requests, as opposed to opening a new connection for every single request upon failure. The new HTTP2 protocol uses the same idea and takes it further to allow multiple. This is possibly a solution if the libraries support it that I'm using. The newer HTTP2 protocol uses the same idea and takes it further to allow multiple concurrent requests or responses to be multiplexed over a single connection. HTTP1 and HTTP1 connections are not considered persistent unless a keep alive header is included. Although there is no original specification, maybe I should be sending this header for how keep alive operates. It was added. If the client supports keep alive, it adds an additional header to the request. Thus, when the server receives this request, but the problem is I'm using curl as the client, not libcurl. Libcurl persistent HTTP connection and libcurl connection keep alive. According to the library, we'll try to reuse existing connection but defaults. But I think it closes the connection. If this is true, then why am I sitting with so many sockets in a time where it's that? How many are there actually? Let's try to get an idea. What's that about? 10, 20, 30, 60, 100, 200, like 300 for 2 clients. 65, starting from 64,959. Okay, and then a few seconds later, look, see, it's very quickly incrementing up that range, the number range there. 65,133. It's like a shifting window. 65,273. The old ones time out and new ones are being created. So it's not, I don't think it's reusing connection. This is really detailed. I should like. It's not important. If the software works, this is something small detail that can be sorted later. It could be that I'm setting the server in HTTP 1.0 mode or something instead of HTTP 1.1, because HTTP 1.1 all connections are considered. Okay. Boom, there it did it again. So adding the number of threads, let's see what netstat says as we hit it. Look at that. Wait. Oh no, I was wondering, I thought maybe when it hit 65555. 65, no, it is, yeah, 65. What's the maximum again? 65. That looks very close. It looks suspiciously close to the maximum when it starts hitting that. I wonder if that's a coincidence. It's not exactly at the maximum. No, but those are the timing out ones. Wait, established. No, wait, what's going on here? I don't know. Not sure. 27.0 5.3 grep 81. So all the port 81 ones, 65 382. Get one. Is that a coincidence that hit just when we're getting really close to 65535? I don't know. Surely not, because it should just reuse all the numbers. It's probably a coincidence. Good question. No such node. New. What if we search the Poco code for that message? Maybe we'll find something interesting. EM editor. Search for no such node new. See third party. Okay. I'm not sure if you'll see the exact message. Next I'll search for no such node. If I don't find it. No such node. It might also be in a different extension. That's weird. Oh, there's information. Poker Foundation source. Oh no, that's a error handler. And that's not useful information. Error handler line 44. Doesn't really look like useful information. Let's go look. Just Poker Foundation source error handler. Yeah, that's just do free, no such node. Trying to free a node that doesn't exist. Hit run. Let's just look at this function again. I wonder if we can set a breakpoint here. I don't think so. Oh, we can. Interesting. Let's step through and look at the code. But, HTTP server session socket and params. It could be triggering an exception anyway. What does this socket do? I just pass keep alive. Let's true. Keep alive. I don't, it's not clear to me if that's set keep alive. I don't know if it's set it to let timeout makes keep alive requests. So client's calling load entries. I wonder if the string's too long. No, these are still very small databases. Can't be long. But that's a successful, you know, that's not, we're not trapping the actual error occurring there. Because the exception undercatches it. Maybe, you know, I'll need to take out the try if I want to see exactly where it's crashing and rebuild the library. I'm not doing that for now. Oops, I wanted to start track. So it doesn't seem like the service crashed. There was an exception, the exception was caught, it triggered a breakpoint, it just carried on running. So it's something it could elegantly recover from. But there would have been probably a failed, whatever the client was requesting would have probably failed, I guess. You know, the client said load entries, that batch of entries probably would not have been returned. Once it starts happening, like it's when I run it, it seems to not happen, not happen, not happen, and then it starts happening, and then once it starts happening, it keeps happening. I don't know. I want to session that said keep alive. I want to put a breakpoint here. Set keep alive and see what's happening. But that's just the socket option. That's really not. Enough. I seem to remember that somewhere in our code we're using HTTP 1.0 or something. I have this vague memory that, I mean, because this stuff was written so long ago and a lot of servers, I don't know, I can't remember. Maybe that's some HTTP 1.0. Shared source. Huh? What's going on here? Project. No. It's all this junk doing here. The whole folder's there. What the hell is all this crap doing in there? So I don't know. What's going on with my Solution Explorer? Network. What is this shit? This is a folder view, not a solution view. Where's the normal? Go for this shit. This is there's a file called network.cpp and it's not showing it because it's got some weird, bizarre. I don't know what it's doing. Why is it not showing my solution properly? What the fuck are you doing, Microsoft? Like, I don't want to see the release folder. This is a folder view, not a project view. Project only. Oh. So they've changed it. It doesn't show the project anymore, it's showing the folder. But I don't want to see the folder, I want to see the project because there's a whole lot of source files that are outside of the project and I can't find them yet. Fuck off, man, really? Fuck off. Source shared network. It's not called network. Internet, maybe? There they are, but they're supposed to be under a shared folder so that I know where to find it. Anyway, I forgot it's called internet, not network. So curl we have this thing get URL which uses local somewhere. But we must logging the headers. Let's just see what they say. In logs, update TLex. HTTP 1.1. So it is HTTP 1.1. Okay. So why? I'm not sure why it doesn't seem to be reusing connections then, because it looks like the it looks like the connections should be persistent. If it's HTTP 1, and according to this, HTTP 1.1 should all connections are considered persistent unless declared otherwise. And according to this, and this is really old, connections are kept alive as far as possible. But if it keeps connections alive as far as possible, maybe that could increase the exhaustion. No, but that doesn't make sense because it would be reusing them. Let me run the server again, yeah, and put a breakpoint there in the whatever that keep alive stuff was going on. This, I don't think the keep alive has anything to do with this, or does it? I don't know. I'm not sure. Just die already. Okay. Set keep alive. Let's throw a breakpoint in there. We can't run a second one with control F5 if let's register the we have to first, I thought so, yeah, we must first press control F5. The one we must F5 for the debugger is last, must do last. So that's our client, and now we're on a server. We're just going to create one this time, because this is, yeah, that should be enough to see what's happening here. Start server, connect to server, and boom, alright. F11. That keyboard value is true. F11. Let's see. Connection. Get version. Is HTTP 1.1. Let's see what the version returns. HTTP 1.1. Okay. HTTP 1.1. Oh no, man. Fuck off. Session can keep alive. Let's put a breakpoint there. Press F5. Okay, session can keep alive. Max keep alive requests not equal to 0. So that should return true, because it's not equal to 0. Or it's -1, which is a bit weird. But anyway, the session can keep alive. All that should then put keep alive value as true. Yeah. You're so slow. True. There we go. All seems fine. Start the stress testers. Maybe it won't happen with just one. It's one left. That's, I really like that, looks nice. Real-time chat. Blah, 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 blah. Sounded like almost accident. Working on new multi-user, multi-threaded client-server integrated HTTP server-based web JSON RPC API. Server for our XML-based desktop editing applications. Buzzwords. It's not buzzwords. That's the wrong. Probably not buzzwords. Probably. I could just talk, but instead I'm typing and destroying my fingers. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm busy working on, yeah. So the I'm running some automated stress testers in TLex after in the debugger. For more info, check out https://swanedge.com. Or for those is twitter.com /. I want to check quickly what's going on with these. This at 50,377. I want to see if that problem that we're seeing, that it suddenly starts breaking in the server there, suddenly starts hitting exceptions in the server. I want to see if that's happening around about the time that this hits 65,535. I didn't think so yesterday, because yesterday I ran them and it took a long time. Actually, I wasn't really watching, so I'm not sure. I've set my frames per second back to 10. I'm not sure why they shouldn't be getting exhausted like this, because it is using HTTP 1.1, and the way the code looks should be reusing those connections. So I don't know if it's got something to do with. It shouldn't it shouldn't really be a problem though. Anyway. Oops, I had the wrong thing on here. Ah, we got the window capture. Oh, you can't see what's happening exactly. Anyway, you can't see me doing net stats. I'm running. I didn't realize this thing's not working. I'm gonna have to restart my stream again later. No, wait, I can fix this. Can I? Hold on. Control panel. NVIDIA. Hello. Why are we back to window capture, man? You kind of see all that shit I typed because Jesus Christ, I have to stop this. Okay, let's see if we still live. Yeah, probably not. This Windows. I don't know if you heard my stomach rumbling. Okay, copy video URL. Let's see if we're still live on the same URL. Looks like it. What does that mean? I stopped and restarted. This looks uninterrupted, which is good. Anyway, I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, that should have been all this. Yeah, so what I was trying to show is this net state minus A minus N minus B. Perhaps we get P1 so that we and boom. This debug break exception in Paco is what I was talking about. That's nowhere near 65556. I don't know what. It's the very same server, and the very just one client. So, and just one thread in the client. So it should be reusing the connections, the same connection over and over. Maybe it is the same connection it's reusing. Maybe it is reusing it. Maybe it's always the same one. Maybe it's not. That's not the problem. Maybe the problem is something else. I mean, maybe in connection. I don't know how their connection reuse works yet. No, well, it's definitely creating new sockets. So it's not reusing the connections. But because the ports keep getting exhausted. Well, not exhausted, but it's running through ports like mad. And it's got all these ports, these connections, the TCP connections timing out. I wonder if we have a maximum stale connections or maximum ports per application. Maybe there's application limit. And it's like even though there's 65,000, the OS may say, well, the application can have a maximum of 1,000, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maximum response service period. This looks really gross. I don't know what the fuck. Implementer should define the manifest FT set size in every source file before including WinSock 2.8. What? I don't know. I can't remember how this stuff works. Maximum number of TCP targets is around 5,000. I don't have such a thing. Maybe if you had it. You have to ask about us. You're probably doing something wrong, maybe, but anyway. Library protocol allows maximum 65, blah blah blah. That's a bit silly, but I would have a pool then. The just launch this 1550. Eliminate 50,000 unrequired. Well, I'm trying to use socket reuse here. Oh shit, man, where's my fucking display capture? Stopped working again. I'm not using a framework. The question doesn't even make sense. I'm using something called libraries. This is a C++ application, and a C++ application links to libraries, not frameworks. As you can see, it's Visual C++. Or do you mean like, am I using MFC? No, I'm not using MFC. I don't know, the question doesn't make sense, because in a C++ application you don't use a framework. I don't know, the question doesn't even make sense. Alright, now what was I trying to do? I'm having this damn OBS problem. I'm going to restart OBS again to see if it makes it right. Testing. I don't know if my stream is still live now. I don't know what the problem is. It's only started since some recent update, Windows update. That the display capture just keeps stop working, and now it seems to be up like, and now it's happening like every 10 minutes. Like it's getting worse in front of my damn eyes. I don't know if Jack is still in the room or if he was chased away by my rude answer. Alright, working on like the question doesn't make sense. It's like trying to think of an analogy. Analogy. Right, so I'm sitting here with this damn exception. I doubt it, because I had to restart the flippin' stream, so it probably keeps stopping and starting and stopping and starting. I'm gonna have to like check on it every 10 minutes. So there's some problem going on, and judging by netstat minus a minus n, maybe it's every time I do run netstat it stops working. No, netstat it seems to be every time I look away. So what I was just doing, I was just busy reading all these websites now. No, not those. Where are they? On TCP. Maybe I closed them. Anyway, so it looks like it's exhausting something, I don't know what, and it just, like, as the client runs, so I just hit F5 to let it continue, and now the client runs, it starts doing stuff. 55 and 8, 51, 5 for 3. You see how it opens those, see how those ports are sitting in time wait. Every little thing the client does, it's creating a new connection. This is not right. should we use the connections as HTTP 1.1 persistent connections. The server side looks like it should be doing HTTP 1.1 fine. The logs say it's using HTTP 1. Maybe this header needs to be sent somehow. Connection keep alive. There, boom. Problem again. Perhaps. But I mean, it shouldn't need to. Because differences from HTTP 1.1. HTTP 1.0. Stop. HTTP 1.0. If the client support keep alive, it adds an additional header to the request. Let's just check these logs. And the client. I don't know if they're teaching computer science kids these days to just grab a framework and use it, and that's programming. Because like, we never used to even talk or think that like that when we grew up learning programming. And when I started running my stream, it was like every single day somebody would come in and ask. I actually started getting irritated. Live coding, man, every single day some idiot would come in and say, what framework are you using? And it's like, the whole mentality to it is, look, sometimes you do use a framework, fine. I mean, so I'm not saying there's no such thing as frameworks, but like the question shouldn't be what framework are you using. It should be, are you using a framework? Like, as if they're so small-minded that they think that's the only way you program. That's what bothers me about the question. It's like, the question isn't what framework are you using, it's are you using a framework. You know, at the very start, it's like somebody taught them, okay, yes, how you program. You take a framework and you do this. Or something. I don't know where it comes from. But you know that you know, not everybody can be an expert. Okay, so some of the people are just asking naively because they don't know any better, and that's fine. But close the freaking program now. Alright. Is this thing still working? Yes. So maybe, look, there's no header there, keep alive. No, but those are the server headers, not the client headers. Wait a minute, what? If the client supports keep alive, who adds the header, the client or the server? Oh, both. I don't want to necessarily pipeline right now. but I do want persistent connections. It says the HTTP 1.1. So the maybe it is leaving them open. And then that's why they run out. But that's not how it looks in netstat. In netstat, let me just check socket. I think that means it's been closed. Yes. There's no close wait and time wait. What's the difference? Let me just check. Yeah, I think that's maybe what's happening. If you have enough sockets in time wait, your ability to create new socket connections may be affected. Time wait is a final state. TCP state transitions are showing normal transitions only. Established. Pin wait, time wait, last stack, closed. Close wait, passive close, active close. Station. I must be honest, I don't see why it's not all working just already. Code easy set up, please perform. Oh man, there's lots of resources to learn JavaScript. Code Academy or Google, good resources to learn JavaScript. There's a pool we call it connection cache. Size of the cache is 5 connections by default. Curl HTTP 27.081 JSON RPC API test. Okay. That's not running anymore. Cool, start server. Okay. What do you mean no URL specified? HTTP? What? What have I done wrong? Curl minus K. Curl HTTP 127.0.0.1 4.1. That works. So JSON RPC. API test. Oh, then now it's working. Strange. I think I used minus K. It doesn't like on. Alright, curl minus help. Perhaps do more. I'm going to show headers. Keep it up time. Interval between keep it up probes. HTTP 111 connection close. That's why maybe connection close. Curl minus help. Public minus our close. How do we tell it not to close the connection? Who's closing it as well? Connection close. Connection. Maybe it's not true that it does it by default. Because this is very old info. 2005. May have changed. The curl. HTTP 1.1 closed connection. Keep it not working. Oh look, you can do 2 in a row. That is very interesting, I didn't know that. So we can just also test this by doing this. Doing this twice. Okay. Closing connection, about to connect. So it closes, connection close, closing connection. Aha, so this is this problem. Connection seems to be dead. Seems to be an issue of standards. ZPP extensions. Well, maybe not. Maybe. C++. This is a C++ application. Global default sends an HTTP 1.1 request. It does not send connection keep alive. So global default sends HTTP in, but does not set connection keep alive. So what closes the connection. Code is designed to reuse connections, so it obviously expects them to be left open without sending it. Keep alive. And keep alive is supposed to be default in 1.1. This is exactly what I'm wondering, and this is 2012. Okay. Battery bench sends with the give alive error required, but expects connection. But that's why it should be 1.0. Hangs on the connection until it gets 1. This could either be on the curl side or it could be in the Poco side, because remember we got a client and a server. But no, wait, yeah, no, I'm not sure. Could be the server. Could you test the curl thing? Manually setting connection close. HTTP should keep alive, and the pause flags. close connection, keep alive. Curl minus help, about to get minus I alive. Curl minus keep alive time equals 30. What? What the hell? Look at that. Warning. So it gets the first one, and then it says, warning, keep alive functionality somewhat crippled due to missing support in your operating system. I rather doubt that the Windows operating system doesn't support socket keep alives. That's bullshit. And what do they mean somewhat crippled? Hosts accept, connection close. That's so weird. Might as well just keep that time. This is annoying. Might be interesting to test same thing but on a real server. Okay, so instead we put in there like swanedge.com. I mean, not that ours is not a real server, but you know what I mean. Okay, see if it works, because trying error routes alert protocol, what? Losing connection error. What the flip's going on? Maybe this is all the libcurl or something. I wonder if there's an HTTP server we can test. There's some problem with the Restream chat client, I think. It doesn't always send messages back to Periscope. I'm not sure why. There's not much I can do about it, unfortunately, because yeah, I'm using this Restream thing to multi-stream. Anyway, keep lives crippled. Get host, okay. 200, okay. Connection close. This keep alive stuff doesn't work properly. Jeez, what a mess. I don't know. Just see what version of libcurl I'm on. I think it's not that old. I mean, those issues are from 2012. So I'm not sure what to do about this now. Do I ignore it? Is it a problem? Something for me to worry about? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I can probably... What may be an interesting test is to run this in debug mode, but on a very large database. I mean release mode. Cancel. Build configuration manager. So we go into release mode, okay, and rebuild. Clean and rebuild F7. Cleaning still. Okay, F7. We're going to rebuild the whole thing. And then I'm going to test it with a large database, and it should. If you do a load all, it should create a lot of client-server connections, and then we'll see if we get errors or if it just works. I think this connection close is getting added by something. I'm not sure if it's the server or curl doing it from the client side. Or maybe it's got to do with that warning, but being crippled on Windows, I don't know. Let's Google the Poco Keep Alive, or Poco.net Keep Alive, Poco Persistent Connections. Yeah, so I'm kind of hungry actually. I'm just checking if this, if maybe this is supposed to be something that I need to enable in. I don't think so though. Assistant, must be just. Maybe I should try use Poco's client instead of curl. Maybe I should try use PocoNet client session. See if it works better. That's quite a lot of work. I'm going to change it now. Is it? Maybe it's not so much work. Actually, it looks quite straightforward. What's today? Thursday. I don't know if I should even worry about this stuff. To be honest, maybe I must just do new builds, upload them, and then test the stuff some more later. I think this overlapping stuff I saw yesterday isn't a problem. It's probably threads, one reading, one writing or something. But I'm not sure. Man, mind you, it could be a problem. Anyway, multi-thread document, blah 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 blah. That's important fix. Yeah, it's on an explain. This makes me nervous to put in the new build, because if there's an accidental re-entrancy, it's going to lock up. But it's not likely though. Open data source. Yeah, it's not likely. Unless maybe with ODBC, you can just check ODBC. Reader's writer. Like if, yeah, maybe like if reader's writer calls check doc up to date from the load from the open data source, then we are going to have a problem. Let me just check that the ODBC still works. That is not the full thing. Okay, open ABC. It's not worth worrying about now, but I do want to come back to it. Leave one window open. Yeah, I'm going to take a break. I'm kind of hungry. Do I need to take a break? No, I don't. But I want to.